Hi everyone, how you guys doing? Okay, all right. So welcome to this very special webinar of mine today. So thanks for joining in. Yeah, I saw some of you wake up very early in the morning. So first of all, let's start with do some just to double confirm whether the voice is clear or not. And so if you can hear my voice loud and clear, so type the word yes. Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, I saw some of your comment. You like the video. Thank you, thank you. Right, thanks to the team that actually make so much effort to actually come up with all these videos here. So hope one point or another, or some way or another, is able to actually help you to inspire or actually make you aware of something that's truly important in our life. And the more we aware of all the, I would say, good things, the moment we are grateful for the things that we had, I would say that alone will make a meaningful life for us. Don't you think so? Right. So that is the essence of the video that I shared with you just now. Okay. So, hi Eduardo. Hi Iglili. Hi Suhui Lai. Okay. All right. So, today we're going to talk about a very special topic. Talking about discovering our alternate destiny. Right, so this is a topic that a lot of people talk about because especially when we learn Chinese metaphysics, and the I would say that the subject that we actually relate to, or the angle or the perspective we actually use to learn metaphysics, is got to do something to do with destiny, right? So it's about the future. Yeah, that is the main angle we are focusing on, right? So we always hope that one way or another, or be able to derive certain strategy to create a better future, the future that we truly deserve, right? The future that we call our own, that give us a meaning, right? This is where I refer to a life that is well lived, right? Because in the end of all of us here, we have so-called we given a chance to actually lead our life, to a point that the moment we get old, we don't want to actually feel that I should do this, I should do that, so we want to actually smile, and then also be actually feel fulfilled, right? Because we did so many meaningful things in life. So, but before that, right, those are so-called the image, or that reality, our envisioned reality doesn't happen yet, right? We are still here right now. So when we learn Bazi, when we learn Feng Shui, and then when we learn Qimeng Dunjia, whatever subject we are learning here, subconsciously, deep inside our heart, we actually want, our future will become slightly better, slightly happier. Yeah, at least can make us smile, right? So that make our life worth living. How many of you here would interested to make your life slightly happier? Right? Okay, type the word me. Because a lot of time people talking about big goals in life, right? About making multi-millions, and then talking about achieving something so big, building an empire. But a lot of people actually forget, So sometimes our job on our daily is to make ourselves happier every single day. And if we actually happy, right, we can actually achieve more. Don't you think so? We are happily achieved. So this is the part that I discovered, when I learned Bazi, I learned Feng Shui, because I actually came across this art 7 to 8 years ago, and that time my pure motivation is about making money. So someone asked me, right? A lot of people asking me, Iverson, what get you started in the first place, right? 7 years ago, yeah. What actually motivates you, yeah? So to be frank with you, during that time, but the only sole purpose that I learned it, is about creating more wealth, so I can actually get rid of that I had during that time. Right, that's my sole purpose. And after that, once I learned this art like Bazi, I learned it, I actually apply it, and then I all the strategy and execute it. Of course, I'm very grateful that along the way it helped me to actually solve the problem about my debt problem, right? So I able to solve those problems, and then along the way, right, I discovered that they are more in destiny, right? They are actually destiny is just not about just wealth, right? So it's about, I would say, contribution. It's about finding a life purpose. It's about people, right? So it's about family. It's about love. It's about friendship. So that is the part that actually gives us fulfillment in life, right? So therefore, the way, if you ask me, the way I look at Parzer in 7 to 8 years ago compared to now is a very, very different thing, right? Right now, last time I regard it as a tool, right, to achieve something, right? But right now, I actually see more part of it, and then I actually able to actually use it as like a life teacher for me, and where I can actually derive a lot of meaning of life, right? That's therefore I learned from Parzer, right? So therefore, if you look at Parzer, right, it's like an ever evolving subject. The more you're using it, you actually discover a lot of wisdom about life as well, right? So therefore, in this session here today, I'm going to share part of it. Yeah, something I discovered that is very interesting. I want to share with you because when I start to learn this subject here, Parzer, I believe some of you also are beginner here, right? So how many of you here actually you are still very new to Parzer right now? Yeah, type the word me, very new. Okay, yeah, let me see who you are. I want to know the beginners who are very new. Maybe the only thing you know is only your day master, or maybe you don't even know what is the day master is all about. It's fine. Yeah, I just want to know who I am. Who am I talking to? All right. Okay. So many of you here, right? So let me ask you, right? How long do you plan to learn? What is the time frame that you give yourself to learn this? Yeah, before you want to apply this in your life. Yeah, that's a very important question, don't you think so? Right? Because a lot of time, right, I noticed that a lot of people I actually get to know that they actually learn this like for a very long time, like 10 years and 20 years, and then they haven't applied a single thing. And then they claim that why their life is not working, right? So I think for beginner especially, right, you need to ask yourself one question, right? What is the time frame or what's the deadline you want to give yourself to learn this before I start applying this to improve my life, right? That is a very important question. Otherwise, you're going to waste like 10 years and or maybe 20 or 30 years just learning on this, right? So like Phi Tam Singh say, okay, is ASAP, right? Of course, right? The soonest, right? So therefore, then we need to see Parzer in a very different perspective, right? The reason a lot of people they delay this because they feel that, you know, as long they know everything, yeah, then suddenly their life will transform, right? Therefore, they continue to learn. Yeah, if you can memorize everything about the Parzer, about the classic literature about Parzer, the life doesn't just transform automatically, because if you can memorize everything, you just professor. Okay, right? You're a professor, which means I need some information I can ask you like a professor, right? So you cannot actually see that improvement in your life. You just happen to be a walking thumb drive, right? So, but if you want to use it to improve your life, you need to see it on a different perspective, right? So what do I mean different perspective? Which means that you don't need to know everything before you start to apply. Even one simple information in your Parzer chart, even your beginner, maybe that's the first lesson you learn about Parzer, take it and then take action, right? That is how the moment you're able to do this, you see that you're going to fall in love of using Parzer because you see that it can help you. And then along the way, you discover more stuff about yourself, right? So it's not about knowing everything. Think about this, right? Those of you already married or you're into a relationship, do you know everything about your spouse before you get into a relationship with them? No, right? Yeah. So if you wait until you know every single thing, right, you're going to wait forever. You're not going to get married anyway, right? So you miss out all the good things in life. So the thing here is like this, right? So learning parts is also the same, right? It's about actually knowing some part of it, and then take action, and then you step 2, step 3, and step 4. That's how you actually make the transformation. So the first question, yeah, I think we should address from the start first here, right? So once we're talking about the concept of applying Parzer, so have any one of you here wonder, right, what type of destiny you end up to if you make decision differently 10 years ago? Right, I want all of you here just to think, right, maybe 10 years ago, there's a certain important decision. If you make differently, right, so what would be your destiny right now? Yeah, of course, there are some decisions that we are proud of making, yet there are still some of the decisions that we wish that we make differently, right? Yeah, so that will actually lead to a different outcome, or what we call the alternate destiny. So all of us here, yeah, have a so-called is like our destiny doesn't actually happen one way. It actually can branch out into different way. Depends on the action that we take on certain key point in our life, right? So therefore, the point I'm going to tell you here is you actually need to know. Yeah, you actually need to know that our destiny is not something fixed, right? That is the first thing, right? It's not something fixed, which means that you can actually maneuver and then to influence your destiny, right? That is the part here. So how do we do that? Is because in a lot of people, I would say 90% of the people that approach destiny study as if like it's carved in stone, right? Like back then when I learned Pazi, right? So I'm learning Pazi, and when that time I'm still very new to Pazi, and then I came across one teacher. This teacher is is quite old that time. I think around 6 years old, and I forgot exactly how old is he, but he looked very old, right? So then he told me one thing, because he actually saw me practicing Pazi, and then he told me, Iverson, right? He say, you no need to actually learn Pazi. Then I asked him why, right? So I said, why you say I shouldn't learn it? He said that, no matter what, right, the destiny already fixed, right? Which means that, yeah, no matter what you do, right, you get the same outcome. Okay, that's what he told me. Then I asked him why. He didn't actually tell me the reason. He just said that because I'm more experienced than you. That's what he told me. Okay. Yeah, in Cantonese, there are one phrase they call 我食鹽多過你食米. Right? So translate into English, he said that I'm more experienced than you. So yeah, you're not qualified to question me. That's what he told me. Right? Just take it as this. So of course, during that time, I'm young. Of course, I'm a bit rebellious. So of course, yeah, due all respect, I actually respect someone. But during the time, I doesn't agree with him, right? So I say that why, right? I said I always feel that there are always a way to actually change your destiny. And then why you just like you throw away my hope, right? So you just tell me a blanket statement like that, and then I feel very powerless like that, right? So that time, then I actually asked him, right, Master, do you actually go out and walk sometime, walk along the street and during your free time? Then he said yes, right? I say okay. Then he asked me why. So before you cross the street, I asked him this: before you cross the street, do you look left and right or not? Yeah, that's exactly what I asked him, right? Then he said, of course I look at left and right, right? What a dumb question. Yeah, that's what he told me. So then I actually reply him back. I say that if destiny is what you claim is already predestined, why bother to look left and right, right? If you're destined to be survived anyway, right? You just walk across the street. Why you still look left and right? So because subconsciously you still believe that we have our power to actually change our destiny, right? Yeah, human action, right? If what he say, if I blatantly or blindly follow what he believe is, which means that I asked him, right? I challenge him. You just walk across the street. If you're destined to live another 10 years, even the truck hit you, is the truck broken, not you. That's what, right? And then let me tell you the conclusion of this conversation here. This is the last time I ever see him, right? He didn't reply anything. He just walked away. Okay, and then because you see, right, whenever someone tells something and then they didn't really practice what they're telling you, which means that something is wrong, right? Yeah. So I didn't mean to disrespect him. I just want to prove my point that every time, every day, we do something to influence our destiny, right? So even just like walk across the street, we do actually make decision whether we want to cross or not, right? So that is the part here. So therefore, from that point onwards, then I actually study this art, the Pazi. Right, like I told you earlier, is I want to get rid of my debts, and then when I'm able to actually succeed doing it, then I explore more, so-called aspect of Pazi, and hopefully I can share with you some of it. And therefore, if you actually know certain information, and then you take different road, making different decision, or sometimes just think differently, you actually end up into a different direction, right? So this is the one I'm talking about. So, and a lot, let me tell you one thing, right? A lot of people think, right, our decision changed our destiny, right? I agree with that, right? I totally agree that a lot of people say your decision is will shape your destiny, but a lot of people mistaken decision is something like, choose which company to work for, or choose which industry that is beneficial for them. They always look at all these kind of decision, right? But I discovered along the way, right, it doesn't matter which company you choose anyway, right? So your destiny is not because you choose the right company or you choose the right industry. Yeah, your great destiny actually coming from what you do consistently on daily basis. Don't you think so? Right? So even this person A, let's say, right, for discussion's sake, went to a company, the right company, so to speak, right? So, but if every day, right, he didn't do the thing he's supposed to do, right? Maybe he didn't learn, he didn't become better. He actually late at work. Tell me, can a great company save him or not? Of course, it cannot, right? So, and then along the way, I discovered that one thing here, yeah, it's not much about decision, it's about our consistency, yeah, or our ritual on daily basis that create our destiny, right? If you look at happy people, right, so a lot, one of my friend, he is always feel depressed, and then he said, Iverson, can you actually fix me or not? Right? You say that, do you have a special button where you can click and then immediately tomorrow I become very happy, as a child? Yeah, then of course it's not possible, right? So so the way to do it is, it's not about you decide tomorrow suddenly become happy, right? So it's all the happy things, a small happy things you do on daily basis, and you accumulate it, you have a happy destiny. Don't you think so? This is a consistency. So if you look at all the happy people, right, you want to know their secret. It's very simple. Is they find joy in every simple little things in life every day, right? For example, like they feel happy to be alive, right? And then they think happy thoughts, right? It might not make a lot of difference from external perspective, but he continue to think of all these happy thoughts, happy habits. In long run, this so-called of thinking will become a habit, right? And then the embedded of this person, and therefore we call it destiny. So when we actually look at destiny, right, we always look at one part first, right? So it's what do you do on every single day. So in Barter chart, you can actually zoom in the chart into a day mode, so you can know, even your Barter chart, there are 4 pillars, right? You actually look it from a day perspective, and then you can actually use it as a ritual to help you become better. Yeah, this is what I discovered, because they are year, day, month, and year, month, day, and hour, right? So therefore, it's talking about the beginning, the morning until nighttime as well, right? So you can actually focus on it. So, and therefore, I discovered that. Then I actually cultivate all these so-called habit that actually align to my chart to achieve the outcome that I want, right? So it's not about like making one big decision, but making a small habit changes every day, and that will lead to certain destiny, or what some people call alternate destiny, right? So, and so how do we actually, what I'm going to share with you today is this aspect of it. And let me show you, before I show you this, I want all of you here to get your Barter chart ready. Okay, so pull up your Barter chart right now. Do you have your Barter chart or not? Okay, so if you are someone, if you are very new, let me show you on screen. Okay, so this is the Barter chart. Okay, www.joeyup.com/bzchart. Okay, all right. So are you guys ready? Right? Are you guys ready to make certain changes that actually will actually change the direction of our destiny or not? Right? Because every second, we have our power to actually redirect our destiny. Okay, so since all of you say it's ready, so we can start. So what we're going to talk about today? Of course, this topic alone, is a huge topic, right? We're talking about here. So today, this session here, I'm going to actually work on this reading. Right? Today we're going to talk about this reading. It's displayed on the screen right now. So is the first one we'll talk about a great chart indicators, and the second part of it I'm going to talk about the flawed destiny, and the third part here is to transcend your default destiny. Yeah. So do you guys like this topic? All right. Of course, a night before, actually, I'm still thinking, which of the topic I would like to include here, because there's so many perspectives or so many techniques I can actually look into this webinar here. But I decided these are the three things I'm going to share today. Right. So I hope you enjoy this part here. And some of you here very new here, don't worry, right? Because this is not hard, right? I'm going to actually teach you or share with you from a layman perspective, right? Because in the end, the goal here is not to turn you to become a puzzle master. Right? This is the part here, right? So it's not my goal right today, at least not today, right? So my goal here today is to help you to actually understand your chart more, so you can actually create a better decision, and then hopefully you can continue to actually maintain the momentum. And if you do it long enough, you can create a new direction of your life, right? And therefore, you create a new alternate destiny for you. And some of you here, you already learned puzzle for quite some time. You're also being told that certain what is a good puzzle, what is a bad puzzle, and if you discover that your chart is a bad puzzle, right, then you might actually, some of you might feel not so happy about it, right? And then you ask, why me, right? So therefore, and this first topic here is called the great chart indicators, is to address the first question that a lot of people asking. The question we read like this: is my chart or is my destiny or puzzle chart is a great chart or not? Right? I think a lot of people ask this question, right? So let me share with you, how people actually evaluate the quality of their chart. Are you guys ready? Okay, so I want all of you here to take out your puzzle chart. Yeah. Then I'm going to actually share with you how to do this. So the best way actually to show you how to do this is I'm going to actually load a sample puzzle chart on screen, so you can see it. Okay, all right. Okay, so this is a sample puzzle chart. I think you can see it, right? So the chart here, if you already learn, or you already know how to read your puzzle, of course you can derive a lot of information out of here. But today we are not focused on all the expert student here, right? I'll talk to you as if like you are someone new to puzzle. So in the chart, right, if you are totally new, when you look at this chart here, right, because this chart is your destiny chart, I think the first thing a lot of people are very stressed, right, because they don't know what the information is all about. So let me just tell you a quick way for you to read the chart first, to give you an overall view first, right? I think that one is very important. So once you actually know how to do this, then at least you gauge the overall energy or the overall pattern of your destiny chart. Okay, so now how do we do this here is in the puzzle chart, right? In the puzzle chart, how do they describe a so-called a great chart? Means that the moment the life is no problem, yeah, they are happy, yeah, and they are wealthy, they're problem free, which means that less stress, So that's how they describe a great life in old days, right? That's how they define it. So how do they define it is through, when you look at the puzzle chart, right? They actually says that if your puzzle chart is balanced, yeah, or quite balanced chart, then you have a so-called a great destiny. Yeah, that's how the people actually assess their puzzle chart. So in the chart that you're seeing right now, is actually consists of 5 elements, right? There are 5 elements inside here, and it says that if the 5 elements are perfectly balanced, then you have a great destiny. I mean, you're happy, you don't need to worry about, whether you can make money or not, your wealth taken care of, probably your husband are rich, or you're born in a rich family, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's what people after for last time. So this is how I share with you how to do this, because there are some way if you learn puzzle before, of course you can judge all these elements and calculate, and then you see a clash or what season. But now we are not doing that, because that one is it will take a very, very long time. So I'm going to share with you, how do you do this in a quick way to see your overall bar chart is a great chart now. Are you guys ready? Okay, so if you guys are ready, so let me show the first technique here. Okay, so I want you to do, instead of actually looking at your bar chart at the top here, because it will take you a longer time, let me give you a quick way to do this, is you look at the summary of the 5 elements, right? So this is a summary. So I want you to actually scroll down your chart until you go to this point. Do you see this part here? Right, this part here is the summary, summary of your 5 elements. All right, so what do I mean the summary? Summary means that, remember we talked about to consider a great or superior chart, then all the 5 elements need to be balanced. So this graph here will tell you the strength of your 5 elements. Okay, so how do we read this? Let me show you. So if you look at this part here, do you realize that they here indicate the element name? Fire, wood, water, and then there's a water here, right? And then there's a metal, and then there's a earth, right? You see there, right? So all these are the 5 elements. So how do you know the strength of these 5 elements? You look at the point. Of course, inside here there are 2 so-called diagram here. One is the beige color, and then one is the purple color. So right now we don't look at the purple color because purple color is an annual energy. It will change every year. So I would like everyone here to focus on the beige color, because the beige color is your natal energy, which means that the moment you are born, these are the energy that incepted to you, right? So this is long term. So therefore we look at it. So now, right? So let me remind all of you here, our goal of this exercise here is to do what? Is to actually look whether the 5 elements are balanced or not, because you've been told that if your 5 elements is balanced, equivalent to great destiny. So let's look at this person chart here. Do you see that this person chart, the 5 elements are balanced or not? So let me just draw it here. So since we are looking at the natal, right? So natal is beige color. We are interested only on this. All right. So do you tell me, is this element balanced or not? Type yes or no. So you see one point is here, right? So we are only looking sorry, let me just clear this again. Beige color, right? 1 point is here. For wood is here, and then for water is here, and then metal, the point is here. So the earth, the point is here. Is it balanced or not? The chart not balanced, right? No wood element. Okay, so quick or not? Okay, so the moment you see this, then this is not the great so-called the great chart. Okay, so not necessarily must be missing something, but it's not balanced, then it will be not great chart. Then how do you see a balanced diagram here? So the moment if it's a balance, the energy are balanced, the 5 elements energy is balanced, so the shape will be likely something like this. You get the shape roughly is like this, is consistent like that. That is considered almost balanced. Okay, so I want to check your chart right now. How many of you here have quite a balanced chart, like what I draw on the screen right now? It's quite balanced as a diagram. Now I think some of you ask, how do we make it balanced? Now we don't care about whether we to make it balanced or not first, right? The first goal here is to diagnosis, right? To diagnose the chart, right? So if you have it quite balanced in the chart, then which means that your life will be less problem. A lot of people, then you are very happy, less problem for you. So okay, so I think you know how to do it, right? Some of you are more balanced, some of you are not so balanced. For those who are balanced, quite balanced in the chart, which means that all the 5 elements energy is quite balanced, is good. So normally you can, no matter what happened to you, you're able to accept it, and then you're able to move forward. That's what I mean, because it's balanced, right? It's not easy for you to overreact on things. Therefore, they consider this a good life, right? So now, if you're balanced here, the other part you need to look into also, you see this part here, this is a second criteria. So the part you're looking at here, this part, they are percentage, right? So there are 10 of it. So I want all the 10 also cannot be, all of the 10 must have some value there. If you're zero, one of it is zero, is already, you cannot meet the criteria already. Okay, so there are two part here. So the first part here is about what? Yeah, is whether it's balanced or not. If you're balanced, then move on to the second one. Check all these 10 items. It stated that must have at least have 1%, cannot be zero. For this chart here, of course, cannot. Right? Why it cannot? Because you look at the chart here. Let me just clear this drawing. Okay. So if you look at this here, you see 2 0, right? One here and then one here. So it's not considered a balance chart. Okay, so you need to have both, so it's not that easy, right? Yeah, you need to actually meet both criteria, then to actually make it consider a balance chart, right? So that's why I see a lot of no in the chat box. Yeah, because it's not so easy, right? You think so easy, is it? Yeah, to get a balance chart. So, and why I tell this is the ideal way, or so-called the perfect way of reading the chart. Or if you're seeking for idealistic, that is how you're looking at it, right? So now, and this is how people read in old days, right? Because it's balance means that there's no problem, everything is well taken care of. But the thing is like this, yeah, in nowadays, the interpretation will be very, very different, right? In nowadays, if someone that have actually great achievement is the one that we respect, right? The person that actually have able to make impact to the world, right, is someone we truly respect, or someone that can build their wealth from scratch, and actually contribute to society, is someone that we actually respect, right? So therefore, and if you look at the chart, right, all the great people today, right, today is the reason they are more successful than the other, because they have a bigger problem than the others, and they're able to solve it. Don't you think so? Right, you think about this, all those successful people, yeah, that is a super achiever. Don't you think that, or do you agree that they actually have a bigger problem to solve, and they're able to solve it successfully? Right, and then therefore they become great, so they can make more money, right? So if you are dealing with small problem every day, you cannot take in more risk. Big problem mean more risk, right? And even the small problem, you also cannot succeed. Then therefore you cannot achieve much in life. Right? So therefore, if your chart is imbalanced, which means that, you have problems. Yeah, but you need that problems to become better. Right? So the goal here is not to aim for a balance chart. So if your chart is imbalanced, means you have drive, because there's something happen and that doesn't actually align to your need, and then now you take action to make it happen. All right? So this is, so it's not something bad. Right, it's a drive forward. So when I actually understand this, because when I start to actually learn puzzle, and I learn from the classic, is all about balancing, right? And then I also compared to the chart I studied on my clients. Some of them are very successful, or some of them are some of them I might not know them personally, but like all those successful entrepreneurs in the world, right? Like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, all these people here, we look at the chart is not balanced chart, right? Because therefore they have the ability to actually, the moment the chart is not balanced, there's sometimes they can actually focus on one thing very extreme on one part, they focus on it, and therefore they become successful. Yeah, because they are not talking about work-life balance. Yeah, they're talking about work-life integration. Right, they can spend a lot of time focused on one thing. The moment your chart is not balanced means that sometimes you're a bit extreme. Maybe you like something, you focus a lot of time on it, and therefore they become successful. Okay, so if you don't have a balance chart, means that of course there will be problems, right? Because balance charts mean less problem, and the chart that is not balanced mean more problem, right? So the more imbalanced your chart is, the more problems you need to deal with. So, but the problems that comes to you doesn't define your destiny. Then what is the one that determines your destiny is your ability to solve those problems. Don't you think so? Right? So if it's a big problem and you're able to solve it, mean you're super successful, right? The reason some people are less successful than the others because they refuse, right, to actually take on bigger problems, or they're not able to actually so-called control or overcome those big problems, right? So therefore, that is the part that we are looking at, right? It's your ability to solve certain things. So why would I tell this from the start here? Because a lot of people are actually focus on great chart or bad chart, so I would say that your chart already given to you, right? So there's no point debating. Even if someone tells you it's a great chart, so what, right? So you still need to lead your life. If someone tells you it's a bad chart, you still need to lead your life, right? So instead of actually too hung up with all this good or bad chart here that is very hard to achieve, why not we look at the other part, is how do you make your chart better? Don't you think so? Yeah, that's a goal, right? So the chart given to us the moment we are born, right, is what we have, but we can actually use different element in our chart to make our life become different. That's what I'm going to share today. So this is the first point here, right? So I just taught you how people traditionally look at a grid chart, right? To show you a balance chart, that's what they call a grid chart. Okay. So once you know this, right? So once you actually know this concept here, so this is very important. Yeah. So because if it's not, you spend a lot of your energy looking at all whether it's a good chart or bad chart, it's waste of time, right? You're already alive, already born. Deal with it. Yeah. That's my advice for you. So now let's look at the second one, right? Just now we're talking about the grid chart. So if you look at the second part we're going to talk about today. Yeah, let me share with you the screen. Okay, yes, so we talk about the grid chart indicator, right? There are two, right? There are two part of it. So one part is the 5 element must be balanced, and then the 10 gods element also must be there, must be present. If you have 0 means you're missing 1 10 god, so you actually doesn't fit that criteria, right? But I also told you a lot of successful people actually doesn't fit that, but yet, they become so successful because they're able to overcome those issues in life, right? So therefore, if you are not a perfect chart, right? So if you're not a perfect chart, then which means that you belong to the second group here, the flawed destiny. I would say that 95% of people have some problems in that chart. Don't you think so? Yeah, if you learn parts before, you might encounter the terms like clashes, harm, destruction, death and emptiness. There's so many of it, right? So, and then therefore, we use a term to describe this. It's a flawed chart, right? So also means that you have a area of improvement. Yeah, the moment you see a flaw, which means it's also an area of growth, right? Right. So therefore, that's the reason why we look at parts, right? Flawed means that something is broken, something incomplete, or something is empty inside, right? So so the parts can tell you that if you actually know how to see this, then you already know which area you can work on. Don't you think so? Right, so it's okay, to have a flawed chart. I would say that most of us, including me, also have this, right? So it doesn't mean that parts consultant doesn't have a flawed chart. Which in fact my chart also is a flawed chart, right? So there are a lot of issues inside, right? So it's our responsibility to solve those problems. So don't be someone like I met few of my friends. He also learned parser, and then they're very lazy. They're very lazy, which means that they don't actually put a lot of effort in their work. And then every time they get scolded, and then by the boss, then they always use their chart and excuse, right? Tell me, Iverson, you know why I'm lazy? Because my chart has a lot of earth element. That's why I'm lazy. So people, they do that, right? So, and they blame the chart. So the reason I tell you the issues in the chart is not to ask you to actually transfer your responsibility to the chart, right? I know a lot of people want to blame the chart because I'm like that, because my chart have a certain element is missing, or there's a clash, right? So it's very convenient, right, to blame your chart whenever things not working out for you. Don't you think so? Yeah, but think about this: will blaming actually work or not? No, right? It just go you in a more deeper downward spiral, where you actually relinquish responsibility in your own life, right? So this is not the point or my intention to tell you this. Yeah, the intention I tell the part of your chart is to give you awareness of it, and then you can do something on it. Yeah, that's what all the successful people do, right? Their chart is imbalanced, they are flawed chart, but they overcome it. And through overcoming the chart, you feel better, right? Because you feel like you're a winner, you accomplished something. It's who you become in the end that is matter, right? So therefore, we look into that part. So now, the flawed chart here, there are so many things. Of course, like I told you just now, there's a clash, destruction, death, and emptiness, right? So, and also missing elements. So let me just pick one of the things we can talk about today. So let's say you talk about the missing element, because I saw some of you here actually type some of you missing certain elements, right? Okay, how many of you here discovered that just now based on the radar chart, some element missing in your chart? How many of you here type the word me right now? How many of you here discovered that you have some element missing? Okay. Okay, some of you already are showing me that is good. So let me just share with you. Some of you are very new here. You don't know how to look for it. It's very simple. Remember we talked about this diagram just now, right? So you look at this diagram here. You look at fire. You see the fire here, right? Fire there's the value got 60% here, right? So you look at earth. Earth also got value here, right? So metal also have, water also have value. But if you look at the wood element, don't you think it's zero? Right? So it's missing zero element, right? So I just show you how you can derive this. Not everyone have a missing element, right? Not everyone, but some of you do, right? Like you say me here. So therefore, I think the first step here is to know, what is the how to derive the missing element, which I just show you just now. That's how you do it. It's very simple, right? Fairly simple. So now, those people who just now say that you are missing this element here. So tell me, do you know which among the 5 elements, which one is missing or not? Yeah, type the element that you are missing. Yeah, the missing element. If you're missing fire, type the word fire. If you're missing wood, yeah, type the word wood there. Okay, let me see the answers. Okay, Crystal says fire and all those things here. All right, okay, cool. Fire, wood. All right, now, so all of these here actually have certain meaning to it, right? Have a certain meaning, and of course, I cannot go through everything. I just give you some example here based on the chat box here. I know some of you missing fire, wood, earth, and metal and water. Yeah, even you. Let's say I notice a lot of you here missing the wood element, right? Even all of you here missing the wood element doesn't mean it's the same analysis. You want to look at what is the missing element means to you. So for example, like for this chart here, we actually discovered that, let me see. We actually discovered that wood element is missing, right? This one, everyone agreed, right? Because wood element is 0 here. So, but this wood element could mean different thing to different people. So for this person, this wood element is this person output. Do you see here? There is this person output element, right? So which means that this person is missing wood element, and then this wood element represent the output. Yeah, because how do I know it's output? Because it's written there is output, right? So if you get what I mean here, right? So some of you just now say you're missing earth element. Earth element could mean different thing for different person. For this person here, the earth element represent influence. So this person, let's say, is missing. Of course, this chart is not missing earth element, but let's say if this person, the earth element is missing, which means that this person here actually missing the so-called the influence element. You get me? All right. Okay. So now once you know this, it's very simple, right? Once you know this element, how many of you here missing resources or missing resource element? Your missing element is resource. Yeah, type the word me there. Yeah, check your missing element. Is it resource or not? Right? You see the resource here, right? So you check back on your chart. How many of you here, your missing element is also your resource element? Okay, all right. So let me give you a quick reading. Yeah, it's not IR or DR, right? So because this resource are a combination of IR and DR, right? If your missing resource element means that you don't have resource element, okay, easy. All right, so then the first question you might ask, right, is it a problem or not? Of course it's a problem, right? So when you learn Bazi, right, I want all of you here to actually, you will come across two type of people, right? So before I tell you what does it mean, I want you to understand one thing. When you actually learn Bazi with someone, or maybe you have a group study or a study buddy, you know, to learn with you, you came across two type of people. One type of people that are extremely pessimistic, right? They see their chart, they see a clash, and then they worry, they cannot sleep, you know, and then sometimes they cry alone, you know, they cannot take it. How come my chart got death and emptiness? And there's a clash in the next 10 years, I should prepare, I must be worried, you know. They feel that the whole world as if like it's going to end, right? How many of you here meet these type of people before? Yeah, so we call this is a paranoid, right? So they're very worried about everything. Yeah, even the word clash scares them off. Okay, so that's one group of people. I think some of you came across these type of people. Yeah, like last time I met one of my friend. Yeah, he actually do that, right? So he told me, Iverson, today you cannot go out. You must apply leave. You cannot go to work because there's a clash. Yeah, I asked him, you know, then how many days I need to apply leave? Then he calculate for me, in this month, you need to actually apply 5 days leave because there's a clash. Tell me, does it make sense or not? Right? Doesn't make sense, right? Yeah, so if like that, I'm out of job already, don't you think? So if I continuously apply leave, and imagine this, yeah, the reason I tell my boss the reason I apply leave because there's a clash in my chart, right? So it's not it doesn't read that way. So this group of people they are extremists, right? They are too pessimistic. So the more they learn about it, they become more restricted. They become more worried about their life, right? They cannot enjoy life, right? Everything seems like not safe for them. Okay, that's one group. And then another group here is, I would say, ultra optimistic. Yeah, these are the group of people that the moment they see your chart, they'll say that, okay, you have a clash, you have a double clash, don't worry, right? Clash is just a clash, right? And then just live your life, right? So it's fine, right? Just enjoy life. Don't worry about the clash. There are some people like that, right? So that part also a problem, right? Yeah, because you actually try to ignore the problem, right? You don't care about the issue. You just say you're very optimistic. You don't afraid of anything, but you know that in our life there will be problems, right? So the real way to actually look at the chart is in the middle part, right? So you see the chart as it is, not worse than it is, and not better than it is, right? So the moment you're able to see it as it is, then you're able to solve problem effectively, and you're able to overcome certain challenges in your life. Are you guys okay with this? Right? So it must be in the center, right? So you're neutral. You become unbiased, right? So when you're reading the chart, then you can see those things objectively without, you will not worry too much about it, but you are actually focus more on the solution. Yeah. If you're in the center, then you're able to do it, right? But if you are too worried, you cannot, because you won't find a solution anyway, right? You just wait for the problem to solve. But if you're too optimistic, you ignore the problem, right? But you know that, right? You cannot, the more you ignore the problem, you're coming back knocking to you even more harder and harder every single time, right? So therefore, look at the center part of it. So why would I tell this? Because now I'm telling you missing element, right? So your mode will switch even, you know. So some of you are in the very paranoid group, and then some of you are at the very optimistic group. You don't care. So if you want to benefit from this session and future as your future study on Bazi, stand in the middle, right? Become neutral on it. Okay. All right. Now, just now remember we talked about this missing element, right? So some of you discovered that your missing element, for example, like is a resource element. So resource element, the moment you're missing resource element, there are two things you need to aware first. Yeah, remember again, we're in the neutral on the center, so don't be afraid. So talking about two things. One thing here is about your health. Your immune system might not be as good as others, right? You have slightly a weaker immune system. Yeah, so if your resource element is missing, 0, so this is the first reading for you, yeah, automatically, right? So it doesn't matter whether you're shock or clash or punishment or everything, doesn't matter first, right? Look at the chart as it is. So first thing here, the chart tells you that your genes or the moment you're born, yeah, you have a slightly weaker immune system. Yeah, but the thing here is, does it need to stay that way or not? Right? But that one is of course up to you, right? Yeah, if you take charge of it, you take care your body, and then you change your lifestyle, of course things will become better. But there are a group of people that blame their chart, right? They say the reason I actually got sick easily because my chart got one missing element. Some people do that. So if they don't take action to actually address those issues, then even the same parter chart, they will have different destiny. Don't you think so? Right? The person that actually took action after they see their chart, they actually change their lifestyle. They actually have adopt a very healthy lifestyle, and then they do a lot of things to improve their health. Their outcome will be very different. Although both of them had shared the same chart, and the resource element is missing. So for those people just now that actually discover that your resource element is missing, so the first priority in your life, you might need to write this down, is your health and your well-being. This part must be, if you're able to do this, then your life, you see that a lot of things will actually work on your favor, to your favor. Okay, so just now I saw some of you are typing there, right? So these are the first information you want, and then the second key here, right? So the second key about if your resource element is missing, if a resource element is missing, normally, right, this kind of person that will have a slightly low self-esteem or self-confidence. So the way they see themselves, sometimes they feel unworthy about themselves. They don't see themselves as someone capable, and sometimes they like to critique themselves. Right, resource element is missing. So which means that the moment your resource element is missing, so somehow you have this tendency. So what are you going to do to solve this problem? Don't you think you need to build your confidence? Right. So how do you build your confidence? Right. So you need to actually develop something like to trust yourself more. And you be so good at something, you must actually do some part of it. Otherwise, you spend your whole life actually beating yourself. You keep telling yourself, I'm not good enough. You keep continuing to seek for external validation to get other people approval and do something that you personally don't like, but just to please others, right? So the resource element is very important. So if it's 0, you need to pay attention to this, right? So which means like this, let's say your skill level is this good, level 8. Yeah, but if your resource element is 0, you always see yourself lower than your actual skill is. Somehow your mind, your internal mindset actually wired that somehow you're not good enough. Yeah, you're not worthy. Yeah, so you need to change that part, because if you if you don't change it, then you will actually create a reality, that actually reflect your belief system. Right, so these are the part that you actually want to look at if your resource element is 0 or very weak in the chart. So, and coincidentally and surprisingly, when you actually look at the medical studies right now, those people that have low self-esteem, normally their health is also weak. Do you realize that this is a statistic? Yeah, this is proven by all the medical research. They discovered that all the patients that normally their immune system are weaker, actually, and then they try to trace back to their character. Normally they have a low self-esteem. Yeah, somehow it's interrelated one, right? So, but Parzer is not discovered now, right? It discovered like 2,000 years ago. So these two things are interrelated, right? So which means that if you feel more confident, you feel more happy about yourself, you actually love yourself more, and indirectly, you actually become healthier. Right, because these two elements in Parzer is a resource element. So you improve one, you help the other part as well. Right? Don't you think it's cool to learn Parzer this way? Right? So you need to take action, right? So knowing the Parzer is one part, right? I tell you, learn Parzer is easy, right? But if the hardest part is do something about it. Once you discover certain information in your chart, you want to do something about it. That's why it's the hardest part, right? And to do it consistently, that's where people feel to do it. And if you able to actually tell yourself to actually solve it and actually live a different lifestyle, and you discover that you tilt your destiny. Yeah. So let's say your default destiny is like this. It's a weak health. If you do something about it, you tweak it. So it's maybe just a little bit on day one, but in long run, 1 year, 2 year, and the 4th year and the 5th years, you see that it's a different destiny, right? It's a different alternate destiny already. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about here, right? So do you guys understand so far? Is it easy? Right. So I can talk for 1 month. Yeah, just for the missing element. But I want you to get the gist of this and the action. How do you actually you can do to actually overcome all this issue here? And this is not the only one, right? Because that's why I say that a lot of our chart there's a flawed chart, which means a lot of problems. But the good thing here is the parter chart can tell us this problem very easily here. So the moment we're able to know it, we know how to take action. Right, that is more important, right? So if it's hard to see the problem, it's even worse. You don't know what is happening, right? Suddenly you have problems, but you don't know the cause. But if you can see clearly in your chart, like 0 element is it's very easy to detect, right? So those problems that easy to detect is not the bad problem. Yeah, it's not the serious problem because you know it from the start. Yeah, it just come to a point you accept it and then you take action. Yeah, that is the part you need to do. So one of it is that a lot of people deal with missing element. Okay, all right. So now, let me share with you. There are so many things that you can look at the chart. Okay, so let me share with you something that something different. I haven't talked about this before. Okay, if you look at the chart, I want all of you here to look at this part. This part here. Yeah, remember now we're on step number 2, right? We try to look from the lens of identifying problem. Not much on solving the problem first, but more on identifying. Are you guys okay? All right, so now if you look at the chart here, I want you to look at this solitary star here. You see a solitary star? Okay, solitary star here. For this person, solitary star is the pig animal sign. Okay, so I want all of you here to look at the chart. And then let's say for this person, let's do another one here. So for this person, the solitary star is monkey. All right, so all of you also have one, right? So the thing here is, let's say this person's solitary star is monkey. The first thing you need to know is, do you have this monkey star or not first? So if you look at this person chart, there are only 4 animal sign, right? This is snake, so this is not monkey, so it's no. So this is dog, so it's no. So and then this is horse, so there are no monkey. So in this person chart, they don't have a solitary star. Okay, so you look at your own chart. So this part here only tell you what is your solitary star animal sign. It doesn't mean you have it. If you want to know whether you have this solitary star or not, you need to look back in your chart. These 4 animal sign, does it have it or not? Everyone clear? All right. Okay. So let's say I look at another one here. Another one here is this chart here is solitary star is monkey. Okay, so this one also don't have. You see this chart here, right? So let me just draw it for you. So this chart here, solitary star is monkey. So the chart also don't have monkey. So this chart also don't have. So let's try another one. Also don't have. Okay, so all these charts also don't have. Very good. So how about you? Your chart, do you have it or not? Okay, some of you have it. And then if let's say you want to know what does it mean, I share with you what does it mean. Okay, all right. So for example, like this chart here, this person's solitary star is monkey, right? So let me explain to you what this solitary star means. Solitary star means that solitary. It means that you might feel lonely, or maybe your me time sometime, right? So and also therefore, some people have it, some people no, right? So but this for those who have this solitary sign here, yeah, you might actually sometimes have a tendency to feel lonely, or you sometimes you're okay to be lonely. So basically mean you're okay with that. Okay, so now if you have it, so it could appear on year, it could appear on month, it could appear on day, it could appear on the hour, right? So there are 4 places you can actually look for this animal solitary star. So let's say if the solitary star we don't normally we don't like, if the solitary star appear on the hour, let's say this is monkey, let's say, right? Although this chart is not, let's say this is monkey, because this chart solitary star is monkey, right? So let's say this is a monkey, here is an hour. Yeah, normally why we don't like to see that is because of one thing, because hour represent OH. Yeah, represent OH, right? So yeah, if you are young that time, right, you're lonely, is fine, right? So which means that you're busy doing your work, right? It's fine, right? You're okay, independent, right? But when you're old, don't you think you want to have a more quality connection, right? You're surrounded with friends, with families, and all those things, right? Yeah. So therefore, we don't like to see the solitary star in the hour. Yeah, that's mean. Yeah, someone say, does it mean depression or not? Yeah, having a solitary star alone cannot conclude that you're having a depression, right? Depression is you need to see a lot of water element in the chart, and then metal produce water. There are much more things to see. So now we don't look at the whole chart yet. First, we look at one element. So you see the hour, there's a solitary star. So I want all of you here to look at your own chart right now. How many of you here you have this solitary star, and at the same time it's appear in the hour? Type the word mean. Okay, all right. So it's not in the luck cycle yet, right? I'm talking about, okay, so if you have it, so don't worry, right? First of all, you need to do what? You accept this is a part, right? Okay, these are the information I need to work with right now. Okay, so it's having the hour now, in the old time, maybe you feel lonely. So what you can do right now, what you need to do? Yeah, so Angeline say, I shall enroll for old folks home. Okay, it's not about that. It's not about accepting it, right? So let's say you don't want to be lonely. You want to have surrounded with a lot of people. So it depends on what you do right now. Right now, I think there are 2 things that you need to be need to happen. So right now, start to build a strong relationship with friends. Expand your network. Yeah, that's one. Right, expand your network. So your network, 2 things, right? Okay, all right. So Siska connect. Yes, correct. Connect with others, right? So you build. So I noticed one of my friends, right? He discovered that the chart he has actually have a solitary star, and then even though he knew it, right? But right now he prefer not to talk to everyone. Yeah, he like to stay at home watching TVs. So therefore, if you choose to do this, even though you know that in your old age you'll be lonely, and he afraid to be lonely, but right now he's still young, he refused to build network with people. Yeah. So whose fault is this? Is it the best destiny chart fault, or his own doing? Of course, his own wrongdoings, right? Because he decided not to do it, even though he knew it earlier. Right. So Max Tang say, is it means no children? No, it doesn't mean, right? Having children doesn't mean you also can mean lonely one, right? Have you seen nowadays, right? A lot of those people that actually go to old folks home, they have a lot of children. Yeah, but sometimes their children doesn't come back to see them often, or sometimes they themselves drive their children away, right, due to a certain character, right? So yeah, some people are like that. So therefore, this is a part you need to actually look into. You can plan it out, right? And think about this. The second part here, I think, is even more powerful. Be service of community, right? Be someone that can help, right? Join charity work, help others, making impact. Don't you think there's another way as well, right? Plan it from now onwards, right? So make some impact, help people. Yeah, maybe you learn puzzle during your old days, what you need to do. Yeah, the moment you actually help people, yeah, and then be of service of others, then you won't feel lonely, right? Because you give love to other people, right? Don't you think it's easy to read your parter chart right now, right? So and this one is what character you can already plan right now. What can you do already from the start, right? So and then the third thing here, what you need to do, become financially free, right? So you don't need to depend or beg others. Lead the lifestyle you want. Yeah, there's another part, right? So therefore, these are the few key things once you know this information, then you can plan your life. You have a strategy already. Yeah, make sense? Right. So do I go through a lot of complex analysis here? No. Yeah, just one element. Yeah, then you can take action upon it. And if you really take action on it, then you see your destiny be different because you already do action to counter that element. Okay, all right. Okay. So you say play mahjong, so all these things here. So this is good, right? So now you know what you need to do because you don't wait until your old age first, you need to start to build it right now. Yeah, that's the thing here. Okay. All right. So far so good. Cool. Okay, all right. So now let's look at the third one here. The next one, I think a lot of people also are asking, is also about a clash element, right? So a clash happening, right? And you know that certain element that is clash, like for example, like this year is a year of rat. Yeah, rat will actually clash with a horse, right? So now the clash could happen on the chart as well, right? So sometimes your own chart already have a pre-existing clash inside the chart. So let me show you one chart here that actually fulfill that criteria here. So now we're talking about clash. There are so many problems. If you want to talk about problems, I can tell you there's so many ways you can discover problem. For example, like this chart here. This chart here, there's a clash. Okay, I want you to pay attention to this. Rat always clash with horse. Do you see it here? Right, this is a clash. This is a clash happening, right? You see, there's a horse, and then there's a rat here, right? There's a clash. So, what other clash is beside rat and horse? So it could be monkey and tiger is a clash, right? There's a snake and a pig, also a clash. Dragon and dog also is a clash. Yeah, so there are so many of it, right? So this is a part of it. So now, this clash here, let's study deeper here because recently a lot of people talking about a relationship, right? So whenever we look at relationship, we always look at this box under your day. So a lot of people want to judge their quality of their relationship. They always look at this box, right? So maybe I draw a love symbol here for easy for you to relate, as this box represent your intimate relationship. So if this box represent your relationship box, so don't you think this is an important box? Because our happiness in life is come through our quality of our relationship, right? How we relate to others. I know there are a lot of people that they're saying that money is important, right? But if you think deeper, the moment let's say you got promoted today, yeah, you got an increment of 50%, you feel so happy. What is the first thing in your mind? Tell me. You want to inform someone, right? Yeah, you want to share with your families or with your spouse of this good news, or with your friends, you want to celebrate, right? Why you want to do that? Because these are people, right? This because the money alone doesn't make you happy, right? What's the point? You achieve something, but there's no one to celebrate with you. The first thing here in our mind, whenever we actually got something we want, like increment or promotion, the first thing is want to tell someone, right? Why? The someone means that someone is the relationship we are talking about. So that is the true happiness coming from. What if you got promoted, you have a lot of money, but you have no one to share your happiness with? Does it mean anything? Right? The promotion doesn't mean anything, right? So maybe you're happy one day, then that's it, right? So therefore, this relationship aspect in our life is very, very important, right? So therefore, this is any form of relationship, especially intimate relationship. So in Pazi, when you study Pazi, this box represent that that aspect. So and therefore, since this represent one very important aspect in our life, we don't like it to be disturbed. This box. Now, what do I mean disturb? Disturb could means that anything that change the content of this box. For example, like there's a clash, right? Clash represent the energy opposing, means that you already disturb, the palace become not stable already. So it could be a harm. Harm also make the palace become unstable. So if you look at this chart here, so let me show you back the chart again. So since this box represent a relationship, so do you see this box being disturbed or not? Yes, right? So why? Because you discover that there's a horse here, right? Horse will clash with the rat. So which means that this box is, relationship box is not stable. So therefore, we can conclude that this person might have a rocky relationship in her or his life. Okay, so this is what it means. But the horse also could appear here, right? Right, let's say it's a horse here, this also a clash. Yeah, so these are, you see this here? So this is a quick way. A lot of people will ask a question, right? What is my quality of my relationship? A lot of people say, is it, if it's a clash, does it mean I cannot get married? No, you still can get married, right? But you might not able to find fulfillment, on this, on the relationship. But you need to work something. The chart stated that it's very hard because maybe you have too much requirement in your relationship, or you are too perfectionist, or you're too controlling. There are so many different reasons. That's why we need to look at the structure and all those things. But overall, you know that you are not easily fulfilled in your relationship. Too many rules you need to fulfill. All right. So let me ask you, how do you know your spouse love you? How do you know? How do you know that your spouse truly loves you? Yeah, to some people, they have a very a lot of restriction, in order to the spouse to love me, this person must kiss me 10 times per day, must call me 3 times to say, I love you, and then must wash all the dishes, and then must follow my instruction 100%. Then only I consider this person love me, right? So, yeah, so think about this, right? You want everything perfect like that, it's very hard. What is the chances for you to become fulfilled in your relationship? Very slim. Therefore, it could represented by a clash in the chart, right? Just like this person, there's a clash, right? So this is the one that if you want to aware, then you might ask, right, is it my problem or my spouse problem? Since the clash is in your chart, means that you are the one creating it, right? The good news here is, since you know this initiated by you, which means you can control it, right? So you need to look further deep down inside, what are the real issue in the clash here? Then you can find the solution to it. So the most simple way to actually decode the clash, like this one, the rat clash with the horse, right? So you know that the horse is the one of the cause, right? So you know the horse is where in the month, right? So this person, you can say that this person spent a lot of time in his work, and therefore will affect the relationship with the spouse, the quality time. Yeah, you can actually do it that way, right? So these are because this one clash with here, right? Yeah, so then could means that the work, the part that need to be solved, so they can actually reduce the impact of the relationship. Let's say the horse is here, right? Let's say the horse is here. So if the horse is here, then this one is a clash, right? Right. So the horse in the hour represent the children. Right, so which means that if you see it like this, that there are probability your relationship affected because you and your spouse have a different idea how to raise your children, and therefore that part will create a lot of conflicts. Yeah, this is a quick way to do it. If you want more detail, you see, okay, this clash here maybe is a direct wealth, right? So direct wealth, somebody doing money. Yeah, so it could be one of the things that is the issue for it. Yeah, so you can drill down deeper and deeper into it to know what exactly the clash is. So the moment you see a clash in your natal chart, which means that you need to actually from the start to aware of this, and then find a way to actually solve this problem. So there's so many ways you can do it. So I just share with you, this is an indicator of a so-called unstable relationship in the chart. Okay, so do you want more or not? Do you want more information? Yeah, if you want more, I can share with you more. Do you want more or not? Now, if you want more, you promise me you don't get worried, okay? You promise me you still can sleep soundly tonight. Yeah, because now we are just on a diagnosis mode, right? We need to see it as it is. Okay, all right. So now, this box here, since you asked, then I'm going to share more, right? So since this box here talking about your relationship, so we want to look at the content here. So normally when you read on the chart, we don't like to see a friend or a rock wealth in here, this box, right? So I want all of you here to look at the chart to see whether we don't like it, the friend or rock wealth there. Why? Because this box here represents your spouse palace, right? So you don't want to invite, you don't want to invite your friend to actually come into your house. Yeah, this one is like additional or like a third party, the kind of thing, right? So we don't like that. So the moment you see this kind of thing is happening there, so you actually need to actually know that there will be competitors. Yeah, you easily attract competitor into your life in terms of relationship. Okay, because you have a friend or rock wealth element there. So what you can do with it, of course, there's so many ways you can combine it away, right? So let me share with you one simple way here. So the moment you see, let's say you have this kind of chart here. So the moment, let's say you find a boyfriend or girlfriend, don't announce to the world first. Don't tell all your best friends that you found someone, right? If you tell them too early, then what will happen? You easily get snatched away, right? So wait until you get married, and then at least you both of you also have a baby, then only you announce. It's actually lessen the impact like that. I know that some of the people, right, the moment they meet someone, they share with everyone, they share with their best friend, they tell everyone the story, they meet someone that she like, and then later on, because the relationship is not so stable yet, it's very easily for someone to actually snatch their boyfriend away. Okay? Yeah, don't say I didn't tell you, right? So you look at the chart very quick, you see this box here, because friend and rock wealth is the same element with you. Okay, yeah, it's the same element with you. So you need to actually look at the thing here, and then we don't want to invite the friends into our spouse palace, right? In the month, okay, in the year, okay, not in the day branch. Yeah, that's what it means. Okay, all right. So there's so many things, all right. You want to look at the chart, these are also one of the things you can look into. And some of you just now also asked about the luck pillar, right? The luck pillar you're talking about. Okay, luck pillar is your is represent the event or something that represent external. Yeah? It could be an event, it could be something that beyond your control, it could be circumstances, or it could be people that you meet along the way. That one is represented by your luck pillar. Okay, so this part is talking about the luck pillar you're in. So each luck pillar, you actually go through like 10 years, right? So all of us here will go through the different luck pillar, sets of luck pillar. So, and can you hear me now? Because I saw a comment say that it's frozen, the video. Are you guys okay? Still can hear me? Or only you? I saw Amy say that the video is frozen. So how about the rest of you? Can you hear me clearly? If you can hear me clearly, type the word yes. Okay, so I think only Amy cannot hear. So I think, Amy, I suggest you to refresh your browser, and then it should be good. Okay, so now, if you look at this luck pillar, all of you here, I want you to look at your own luck pillar. Yeah, your own luck pillar here are talking about the event you're going through, circumstances, or the people you're going to meet, right? Like I explained just now. So this part here is there are different content inside. So normally, what people are afraid of, since we are in a topic about discovering problem, so normally we don't like to actually go through this 7K, right? Because 7K represent challenges, also represent a so-called obstacle along the way, and then these are the part that you need to look into. So I want all of you here to actually go through your luck pillar right now. Do you actually see this 7K either on top or below or not? Right, so on top means it's here, below means it's here. Okay, so you see this part here. So if you have it, which means that during this time here, right? So yeah, you'll be tested. Yeah, your character, your confidence, yeah, and your perseverance will be tested. So on top, yeah, on top is easier, and then the bottom will be the hardest. Yeah, that is the diagnosis for you. So you go through, let's say your work, you go through a lot of challenges. It's fine, right? So which means there are a lot of issues that you need to solve. 7 killing is about being hands-on, right? Solving problems, help other people to solve problems, right? If you're going through a 7 killing, for now say that beginning of my 7 killing pillar. So therefore, you might expect, your work maybe have different challenges come to you, right? Where you can learn and evolve, and you become a better leader, right? So this is so represent challenges and obstacle ahead. That is the diagnosis for you. So now, this 7 killing, if you look at the problem, solving the problem, there are so many ways to do it. One of the way is you look at if someone chart, they have the right combination of resource element in the chart or output, you can actually find a way to solve the problem. Yeah, that one is slightly technical. Yeah, I won't explain here because it will be slightly technical, but I give you the concept here. The moment you're going through 7 killing, the way to solve this problem here is something to do with two things, either resource element or output element. These are the two elements. Okay, so I want you to actually understand this concept. And then if you are someone that actually learned puzzle, you need to look at whether your chart have this element or not. Is it strong or not? And if it's strong, you look at what is this element represent to you. That's where the solution is. You have to mitigate it, the issue, so you become more enjoyable, and then you have more energy focused on something that is matter to you, right? So the resource and output is a very important element to actually handle the 7 killings. Okay, so this is 7 killing is one of the element that represent sometime unexpected issue or a surprise and all those things. But if you're able to control it, this element represent authority, represent so-called a promotion, and also represent power. Yeah, that is the part here. Okay, so let's see this. So Simona said, my 20 years of 7K luck pillar is coming to an end. Okay, good. So I hope you learn something from it. Yeah, you rise above the challenges, then it'll be good for you, Simona. Okay, Chia Senior. What if the 7 killing natal is hidden stem? Yeah, hidden stem is might not easily discovered. So if it's in your natal chart is not a problem. Yeah, 7 killing your natal chart represent courage, right? So you have it in your natal chart is hidden means that you have hidden courage. Maybe you don't know about it. So I want you to actually participate on certain activities or that actually beyond your comfort zone, so you can activate your internal hidden 7 killing, right? So it's a very good question because just now I'm talking about the luck pillar, right? So, but if the 7 killing is in your chart, the meaning will be different. Your 7 killing represent courage. Okay, Senior. All right. Okay. So now let's. You guys enjoy so far? Yeah. Just now we're on topic number 2, right? Yeah. So let me just show you guys again where we are. Yeah. This is the one. Flawed destiny. So now, if you are interested to actually learn more of this, right? So actually, I just started something yesterday, right? So this is a Telegram that actually I started. I'm going to post more short videos there, or some special information. If you're interested, yeah, you can actually follow this this Telegram here, where I'm going to actually share with you more information. If you're interested to learn parts astrology, or even achievement, yeah, I do my best to actually pick some information there, or some short videos you can review it. So all you need to do just to scan this QR code, and then you're able actually to look into you go to an app, and then you can actually follow it, right? So otherwise you can also use the link there shown at this diagram here. This is a link. You can actually take a snapshot first. Don't do it now because this webinar haven't ended yet. Yeah, just take a snapshot first. You can do it later. Okay. So this is one way I can actually add value to all of you here, because not all of you here have all the free time, right? Some of you are busy with your work. So I hope that this one of the channel I can communicate with all of you. Okay. All right. So now, just now we talk about the flawed destiny. So now I think the third part is more important. The flawed destiny is about identifying problems, right? So the identifying problem is just the first step. I think the more importantly is the fourth, the other step here is about the how do you actually transcend your default destiny? Right? Knowing problem is one thing. Like just now you discovered there's a clash in your chart, right? Like a spouse palace. That one is just about what? It's about knowing, right? How do you transcend it, right? So how do you create an alternate destiny? Therefore, there's one word that I actually share with everyone: the moment, right? The moment the self-discipline is absent, your default destiny will take over. Yeah, remember this, right? The moment your discipline is absent, which means that you know something you should do and you don't do it, then slowly your default destiny will take over again. If it's something you don't like there's a clash, right? So you must do something on it so you can transcend your default destiny, so those problems doesn't bother you anymore, right? Therefore, this third step talking about this, because a lot of people worry about their chart. And like, let me show you one chart I think that is can explain this point really well here. Let me just show you this screen here. Okay, give me a moment here. Let me show you one chart. Okay, so this is a chart I'm going to share with you. This is a very special chart, right? Why it's called special? Yeah, because this chart here is a Michael Jordan chart. You know who is Michael Jordan? Yeah, so if you don't know, he is one of the greatest basketball player ever lived. Right, so this is the one that it's a very special chart. Why I say it's a special chart? Because when you look at his chart, this person here, if let me just share with you some parser analysis on this chart here. If you look at someone, whether can, according to parser analysis, whether someone have the ability to become wealthy or not, wealth must be strong. The self also must be strong. So if you look at his chart here, of course, the wealth is strong. You see all this is wealth element is strong, right? So it's strong point in the month of wealth. But the self is weak, right? This self is weak chart because this person here is a yin metal, but it's born in the spring season, so it's an extremely weak metal. So according to the rules of the classic, if someone that is weak, they cannot actually make money, because a weak self cannot control the wealth. But if you look at his own life, right, his real life, actually he's a billionaire, you know. Right, so then a lot of people argue this chart here maybe is a follow the leader structure, is a special structure. It's not, right? Because there's still a resource element here, so it cannot form a follow the leader structure. Right, so and therefore a lot of people asking, right, how come this chart self is weak? How come they can become this is not a millionaire chart, you know, this is a billionaire chart, right? Do you know actually Michael Jordan is a billionaire? Right, so then a lot of people say, how come so, right? So this proof again and again, right? So the chart given to you doesn't dictate your destiny. Yeah, a lot of people say this is a poor chart, but he able to use this chart so well to a point that actually transcend the destiny. Yeah, so this is one of the example here that I want to share with you right now. Yeah, because a lot of people think they blame I'm a weak chart or I have a flaw in the chart, that's why I cannot make money. Yeah, remember Michael Jordan chart. Yeah, he knew how to use his chart. Of course, he don't know parser, but he somehow coincidentally he know how to use a strategy or his talent to actually create the fortune for himself. But the thing is like this, they are average, there are 30,000 people that have the same chart with you. 30,000, right? So which means that Michael Jordan chart, there are also 30,000 chart exactly the same chart like he is. How come? Yeah, my question here is how come there are only one Michael Jordan? Right? How come there are only one? Right? So just like you, right? There are actually in the whole world, there are 30,000, roughly around 30,000 people that shares the same chart with you, which means that they're born in the same day and also within the 2 hours time range as you do, right? So what is that? Right? Because they are same people. You cannot look at the chart anymore, right? Because the same chart, 30,000, how come there only one Michael Jordan? Yeah, that's the question I'm asking. There are 30,000 exactly the same chart like he does. So I know some of you decode the chart because of wealth element doesn't matter, because the remaining 29,999% also have the same chart. Right? So the question is like this. This also applies to different people, right? How about Bill Gates? He's one of the wealthiest person in the world. How come only one Bill Gates in the world? So it's like this. The whole astrology chart, they can tell you about your talent, your opportunity, your health or everything. But there one thing that the astrology chart cannot predict is your free will or what you're going to do about it. This is the part that the astrology chart cannot predict. Same chart, they can use the chart differently. Don't you agree? Right? Just like there's 30,000 people have the same chart with you, but your destiny, it depends on how you use your chart differently. That is the one that change or determine your final outcome in life. So therefore, same chart, we have different version. They have a different alternate reality for everyone. Do you see how this thing goes here? Right? So therefore, the chart that given to you here is like you play video games. These like weapons given to you. Right? So how you're going to use those weapons is up to you. Some of you given a sword. Right? If 7 killings, you have a sword. Right? Some of you having a rifle. Some of you having a bow. Right? So, and some of you have a love potion. Right? It's given to you. But even you given the same thing, do you have the decision to choose which weapon to use or not? Yes, right? You also can decide not to use any of those weapons. Just like some people, they're lazy, they give up. They don't want to actually improve their skill, which means that they decide not to use every weapon that's given to them. Not even one. But some people, they work hard. Not only they decide which weapon to choose to use, they also know how to combine those weapons to create a new weapon. Yeah, that's how you actually create a different sort of destiny grid for you. And also there are grade A, grade B, right? You actually can transcend it. That's what I'm talking about, transcending, right? So therefore, this is how this is one of the example that how Michael Jordan chart here, a seemingly so-called a bad chart, yeah, but they can create a great destiny. Right, so I hope that this one give you so-called or inspire you, because I discover some of you learn your chart, discover your weak chart, then you become afraid, you become sad. Right? Every time you think about this, look at Michael Jordan chart. He's an extremely weak chart, but yet his success here is more than anyone can imagine. Okay, so I want you to actually feel it, that you actually have the power actually to dictate your end destiny. Right, you might start at the same point, yeah, but all of you here will land on a different location. Okay, it's up to you. So therefore, I want to share with you this word here. Yeah, this word I like a lot. Yeah, this one is they're talking about a lot of people searching for the best destiny chart, right? So let me tell you, the best destiny chart does not exist, right? But great user do, right? Stop looking for even someone given a great chart, doesn't matter, right? If you don't know how to use your chart, you end up with a bad destiny, right? So, but there are such thing what we call a great user. So the question here is, do you see yourself as a great user or not? Do you know how to use your chart or not? Right? That is the one that I'm talking about. right? So, and therefore, I see this is a issue that a lot of people have. A lot of people that learn parts, they learn a lot, but they don't know how to use it, or they don't know how to motivate themselves to use the information they know. They keep thinking they are missing certain information. They only if they know everything, then only their life will be changed. And but the moment they realize that, they're already getting old, right? Time already passed by already. It's too late. Yeah, then they feel regret. Yeah, so therefore, I see that what people needs right now is not to know more stuff, but is to know how to use the chart. While not wait until 20 years or 30 years from now, but I'm talking about the present moment, right? How do you create a different, I don't care what type of chart you're given, missing two elements or weekday master or have a lot of depth and emptiness, it doesn't care, right? Because in the end, your destiny is about how you use the chart, right? So we will use it efficiently or not. That is the thing you must decide. Okay, so if you are interested to do this, I actually see there's a need. A lot of people want to know this piece of information. I actually prepared a 2 days content that if you are interested, you can actually join us here. So this is what I call a bad destiny, a bad chart, great destiny, right? So which means that you might seemingly given a bad chart, right? A bad chart, and then you can actually transform, become a great destiny. So a lot of people actually, like some of you actually saying here, is because their upbringing, the different parents. Yeah. So, but I know that you also seen a lot of time that they actually come from a great family background, but yet they still can be struggling in life, right? Yeah. Some people, they're born in a rich family, but doesn't mean their destiny will be a good one, you know. Then they actually spend their whole family fortune, but yet some people come from a poor family or the immigrant, right? They don't know anyone, but within 10 years time, they can create their own fortune, right? So therefore, it's about how you use it. Now, then a lot of people ask, right? If someone don't know anything about Parzer, can I benefit from this program or not? Of course you can, right? Of course, right? Why? Because this is not about technical Parzer, it's about solving problems. Remember just now I highlighted few problems you encounter in the chart. So this program here is about how do you convert a seemingly a bad chart or problematic chart, and then you want to create a different outcome. Therefore, I call this is the ultimate playbook for greatness. Okay, so if you're interested, I'm going to conduct this via live stream, so you can actually learn this from the comfort from your own home. And the date here will be on 15th and 16th of August. It's a 2 days class. And if you're interested, feel free to join us, right? These are the things here. So let me share with you what you're going to learn from this program here. Yeah, I think actually it took me a very long time to prepare this. So I'm sure that, this will be something very, very beneficial to you. So the first thing here I'm going to actually share is learn how to overcome the bad chart indicators. Like there's a clash. Remember talk about clash? Right? And then there's a harm. A lot of people worry about there's a harm, right? Because harm represents betrayal. And how about handling the 7 killings or destructions and also punishment in the chart? Because our success in life depends on our ability to solve problems, right? The more problems you're able to solve, the more happier you are, right? So, and then the better, you have better skill. So these are the part that, because you see, problem is going to come, no matter you like it or not. Life is like that. Right? Because even you're the most richest person right now, you still have problems to solve. So therefore, we need to know what it is, and then we want to find a way to learn how to mitigate this problem. That's one thing we are going to share. And then also, this is also very important. How do we actually turn negative elements into opportunity? Like a lot of people just now worry about missing elements, right? What if missing fire? What is missing water? Right? How about death and emptiness? And this now also notice some of you ask about how about unfavorable elements or negative elements, or how about to handle a bad luck elements. I'm going to share with you step by step. How do you look from a perspective of solving problem on all these attributes here? Okay, right. So we're going to go through one by one on this. And the next one, I also want to actually look into is your luck pillar, right? How do you transform your luck, right? Because you cannot wait until 20 years. I know that some people that read the chart is like this. They say, okay, in 20 years, you're going to go through good luck. So the strategy is to wait 20 years more. Yeah, but the thing here is like this, right? And you don't want to wait 20 years. 20 years, you become old already. You want to make sure no matter luck you're going through right now, you want to make the best out of it. Don't you think so? Right. So therefore, this is the one that I'm going to say, how do you make sure that your existing luck, you make it the best ever luck for you? You don't wait. So you really ensure that every luck, no matter what luck you're going through, you want to actually maximize it. Yeah. So some of it there could be a death and emptiness, right? Right. Some of you ask, will I cover death and emptiness or not? Yes, I'm going to cover death and emptiness. And death and emptiness, they're also good side of it as well. So I'm going to cover how do you use it from the good perspective of the death and emptiness as well. So you're going to cover on here. So this is, I think, very interesting, right? The luck part. Yeah. So, and the next one, we also are, our goal here is to make our life a masterpiece. So we also are going to share with you something very exciting content like hidden noblemen, because some people do have the helpful people, the noblemen, right? So I share with you how do you actually detect this hidden nobleman and how do you actually connect your parser with Chiman. Yeah, then you form a new information to know about destiny. You can act upon it. Yeah, so actually there's a connection. I'm going to teach you how do you trace it and then connect it, right? So you get more information and how do you actually heal your destiny, right? Some chart are broken, right? You want to learn how do you heal it, so and much more. Yeah, do you interested on this or not? Yeah, this is the first time I'm doing this. Yeah, because normally we just teach technical, right? So the whole program here is about problem solving, right? Because I believe that everyone deserves a good life. So I would say that this would be a blueprint, yeah, for you to actually get to that path. Okay, because all of us only live once, right? We don't want to live in regret, right? So we want to make some changes right now and to create a different version of our reality. Okay, so now if you are interested on this, so this would be the investment fees for this, 497 so USD. So it's a 2 days, you can learn from it. And even you're a beginner, I'm sure that you also can actually understand this. And then if you are someone also help others people transform their life, you are a parter coach, this one also extremely useful to you. Or even you're not a parter coach, learning this, you also can help to actually guide your parents, your children, your friend, to help them to get better. Yeah, so it's not about just reading their fortune. Reading a fortune cannot help to change their destiny, but you can provide them an action step or the first step to lead to a better life. Yeah, then you're actually giving a very special gift to them. Yeah, that's the part that we are aiming for. All right. So if you're interested on this, so this is what we can do for you, right? Because we can do this online, so we can pass back the saving to you. So if you're interested to join us today, all you need to enroll on this is not 497. Yeah, we actually make it easier for you here. The enrollment fees for tonight is only 297. Okay, it's just if you actually divide this by a year, it's only like $25 per month, right? What can you do with 25 bucks per month, right? Compared to in exchange for knowledge that can actually transform your life, right? So there you go. Okay, so if you are interested, then yeah, this is something that the team actually work out for the first 20 who actually interested to enroll today, right? So these are the extra thing you're going to get. So this is a live stream as well. Is an extra webinar. It's called the Yin and Yang Secrets. Yeah, this one talking about the fundamental of a Chinese metaphysics. And and the moment you learn this, you understand more about how Chinese metaphysics works and how destiny works, and you will understand life more. Yeah, because Yin and Yang is the fundamental of everything in the universe. Okay, all right. So if you're interested, here's the link. Right, here's the link here to get the bonus as well. So the link also appear on your right hand side. There's a blue box there. All you need to do is just to click on it, and then you enroll from there, right? So these are the link here. So just click on it, and then you're good to go, right? So this will be on August 15 and 16. This will be on the weekend. Okay, all right. So I hope you enjoy my sharing tonight, right? So I hope you enjoy the sharing tonight and want to carry forward, because I will say that once you're able to learn this. and you are the way you see parzer will be very different. Yeah, a lot of people they see parzer from a fear perspective, but when you actually have this kind of information, yeah, you can actually inspire. You can see parzer from an angle about empowerment. Yeah, you feel inspired. You're willing to take action. Yeah, to make life better, not only for you but for the rest of other people as well. Right. So some people ask, will be a recording available? Yes, there will be a replay. Yeah, if you cannot actually attend this one on live, although I encourage you to actually attend on live during a live here because you can ask question, but just happen that you cannot manage to make on the date itself. So there'll be a replay for you, right? Like how many days you need to talk to the team. They're going to tell you how many days, but definitely there'll be a replay. Okay, so if you get today, you will get the extra bonus. Yeah, because the bonus here is haven't teach this before, and it'll be a very, very I would say important subject if you want to learn Chinese metaphysics. Okay, all right. So, and I hope you enjoyed my sharing today and all the techniques I shared with you about parzer, the understanding about how do you actually convert or see a chart from a problematic chart, and how do you convert to become opportunity, right? I also shared with you about Michael Jordan chart. Yeah, that one is one of the perfect example I can share with you. All right, I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you to see you on this 15 and 16 August 2020. Okay, and this webinar is not end yet. You still can talk to the team here. You can talk to Mark, you talk to Corinne. You know, they are more than happy to assist you in any way as possible. Okay, so till then, I wish everyone here have a healthy and happy life. I'm Iverson. Keep in touch.